Hey. Hey. Hola.
Hi. Do you have the,
Sí.
Hey!
Sí.
Okay, good. I'm just making sure. What's up? I am taking apart the arch. It sucks because I just bought this thing, and I'd love to blame it on someone else, but honestly it's my fault. I didn't know what I was doing, and I had this arch made, and it's just way too flimsy. Look at it. So look, I'm trying to go to the Southern Ocean with 70, 80 knots, and when I move the arch, look how much it moves. This is retarded. I can't have an arch that moves that much, so I'm gonna have them build another one, and the only way to do it is to tear the whole arch down and start over. Because the problem is these tubes are not thick enough, and they're not bent back. I did ask the guy if he had a tubing bender, and I wanted to make sure that he could make the radius in it so it's stronger, but he didn't. He just did a shit job of it. This should be radius here. This should be a radius from here all the way to here. So it's stronger, you know. So it sucks, but whatever. That's my fault. Now it just cost me. I paid $5,000 for this arch, and now it's going to cost me another $4,000 for a real arch. But I should have just come here in the first place. It was stupid to try to do the refit in Panama. Go to Marina Manzanilla. That's the place. That's the place.
Where?
Those are the guys. Cartagena.
Of course.
Over the next 18 months, we'll be circumnavigating South America, west to east. We'll be revisiting a few places that I love, and we'll be discovering an entirely different part of this planet. First off, we'll be visiting the beautiful islands off San Blas, Panama, for a few intro to cruising classes. If you're interested in this lifestyle, then this island getaway will be right up your alley. In April, we'll be crossing the Panama Canal for a second time, sleeping on Lake Gatun, and seeing the Continental Divide from yet another boat. After the canal, we'll be spearfishing in the Pacific side of Panama and visiting one of the country's UNESCO World Heritage Sites, Isla Coiba. From there, it's a 10-day sail up to Costa Rica, stopping in all of the islands along the way, spearfishing when possible, and diving when it's not. From here, the offshore adventure begins as we sail 400 miles to revisit Isla del Coco. Then we hop back on the boat for another 700 nautical miles towards Charles Darwin's favorite islands, the Galapagos. Over 2,300 miles later, we're going to end up in one of the most remote inhabited islands on Earth, Easter Island. I remember every day was magical. But our journey is just getting started, and now we finally cross into the roaring 40s and down to mainland Chile and Puerto Montt. After nearly 3,000 miles at sea, the Pacific will have been crossed by Zingaro. Now it's time to discover a land lost to time, the uninhabited regions of Patagonia. Glaciers, mountains, and amazing landscapes are only a few of the attractions that southern Chile has to offer. This is the highlight of the trip, what we are making all this trouble to see. After Patagonia, we will be taking a trip around Cape Horn and into some of the most turbulent water in the entire planet. This is a bucket list item for me. From the Horn, we'll be returning to the mainland and heading 600 miles south through the Drake Passage to Antarctica, Deception Island, and on to the Falkland Islands off the coast of Argentina. Now, it's finally time to turn to warmer waters in the north and sail up the entire coast of Argentina, seeing what we see along the way. From Buenos Aires, we will be sailing the beautiful coast of Brazil towards Rio de Janeiro, to experience the culture the Brazilians are famous for. The next leg is the longest leg of the journey at 3,200 nautical miles covered, over 1 month of sailing, from Brazil all the way to Suriname. From Suriname, it's back to the Caribbean with stops at Barbados and another to visit our friends in Bermuda. And finally, as all good things must come to an end, the home stretch will take us from Bermuda to Annapolis, Maryland, where we will end our journey. If you'd like to join us on this experience of a lifetime, please visit www.sailingzingaro.com for more information.
Hola, ¿cómo están usted?
Muy bien, gracias a Dios. Esto. Tienes uno ahí.
¿Qué es eso?
Esta es la estructura esta.
Okay.
Con refuerzos. Lleva su refuerzo aquí. Las bases de los paneles. El refuerzo que lleva aquí para que no se te.
Pero quieres mover, quieres sacar en total afuera.
Todos hay que quitarlos.
Pero este no.
Es nuevo. Nuevo, tubería más gruesa. Esta tubería, no.
Oh, en total nuevo.
Sí, porque esta tubería es muy débil, muy delgadita. La pared es muy delgadita, entonces siempre va a estar. Todo lo vamos a hacer
You
nuevo.
gotta make a whole new one? That sucks, man.
Una tubería más, la pared más gruesa, más resistente.
Okay, we are on an adventure today. Let's go get the arch. We're gonna carry it back. It's finally the day. This is the day after 6 months that we're gonna finalize all of the repairs on the boat and get out of Cartagena. Ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Thanks, babe. Okay, let's go in before it rains. Oh no, that just passed over. This just passed over. This was last night. It rained hard last night. Yeah. Luckily, we have a boat that doesn't leak anymore. This is the best marina in the Caribbean. If you guys are ever gonna go to a Marina Manzanillo, good people here, man. Right?
Yeah, everybody's so sweet.
Let's go this way. What do you like about the marina?
The people.
Yeah, the people.
That's all that I like.
Yeah.
Because the vacation is the best.
Yeah, the location sucks, but man, the people are awesome. Mano, ¿cómo estás? ¿Todo bien?
Hola. Is it Rafa?
Yeah, that's the yard manager, Rafa. He's a cool guy. Okay, necesitamos ir por el barco. That was Isaac, the door guard. He's a good dude. So this is Post Obama. This is the one of the more famous soft drink companies that owns this building, and so there's lots of big truck traffic that comes through here. This is the real Colombia. You don't get to see this a lot. We're showing you guys.
I like it, but not with you.
Oh my gosh, thanks a lot.
It's more dangerous with you, you know.
I think we'll be fine. We're going right here. So this is another marina.
I see.
This is another marina. And the welder shop is right here on the corner. Okay, so this is the other marina that,
Buenos días.
Martin works at. Buenos dias. This way. Oh boy,
Buenos
here
días.
it is. ¿Cómo estás? ¿Cómo
¿Todo bien?
estás? ¿Cómo estás?
Mira, ya está viendo la...
Felix, Victor,
Sí, ya
¿cómo
veo.
está?
Yo no había venido aquí.
So there's Martin, Arturo, Felix, Victor, and you guys know me. We're gonna carry this big bitch all the way back there. So this will be fun. I wonder how much it weighs. Okay, you're gonna film now. Listo?
Por el agua.
Oh, it's fucking heavy. Holy shit. Oh. Yeah, it's heavy. It's not light. No, it's liviano.
Sometimes you can't hear them talk, other times you can. All the same old cliche. Is that a woman or a man? And you always see my number. Don't dare make a stare. Here I am on the road again. Here I am up on that stage. I go, playing the star again. Here I go, turn the page. Later in the evening, as you lie awake in bed, echoes of the amplifier ringing in your head. Wrote the day's last cigarette, remembering what she said.
All right, I know I've got a funny hat on, but I'm gonna give you guys a tour of the arch now. The arch has been done for about a month. It's not completely done yet, but I'm gonna show you all the things I did to it, and that way you'll have an idea of how you can build your arch later on even better than I did. So let's get back in the light here. It's really sunny, it's hard for the camera to pick up. Okay, so here is the entire arch, right? It's got a lot of features that I had built into it that I'd like to go over. So first of all, let's go front to back. So first of all, I had hard tubing put onto the entire stern pulpit. This before was this lifeline material on here and here. So that went all the way back to here, and I had 2 tubes put in there. Secondly, part of this arch program was to have a nice solid foundation for my grill, and that's what this is. It's got 2 big tubes, 1, 2, and a big thick metal plate, stainless steel plate. And this thing, I mean, it's on there. It is not gonna fall over. It's bolted to the thing and it's welded on, okay? So I can still take it off if I take these bolts off, but I would have to weld different tabs on to put a different barbecue on. But actually, to tell you the truth, this barbecue, CBQ by Dickinson, best barbecue I've ever had. If you guys want a good barbecue, that's a good one. Better, way better than Magma. Sorry, Magma, but it's just the truth. I can barbecue doing 8 knots on that thing. All right, so moving back, we have this little contraption here. Now these bars aren't just there for show.
this is where the life raft is going to go, and it'll have a hydrostatic release that will release the life raft if the boat goes down. Therefore, the life raft would come out and automatically deploy. The painter will be tied off to the bottom of the boat, to the tow rail of the boat. So if the boat goes down, it gets below 5 meters, that hydrostatic release cuts the line and the thing opens up and floats away. Next, I had dinghy davits on the entire thing. So here's the dinghy davits. They're very well enforced. I can actually hang out there. So let me just show that real quick. Let's see. Okay, this is just a test to see how good of a structure that I made. So, as you can see, here's where the dinghy will go, and I'm 180 pounds, so the dinghy only weighs 100, and we'll be fine. Also, if you move this back and forth, I mean, it doesn't move at all. I'm really trying to move it. If I get some like kinetic energy in it, I can really move it, but this thing is solid. Okay, that's all I wanted to show you guys. Okay, so dinghy davits fore and aft. I had these lugs strengthened by 2 forward and aft pieces just to give it a little bit more strength. And then the dinghy davits go down. The lines, I had these welded on to accept these lines so they're not just always dangling like that and hitting the boat and hitting the paint just like it just did. I can actually stand in the dinghy and just hook these on, and then they look nice. There's some that's you got to think about all these little things, and that's why I'm showing you guys. I had these welded on. I would have liked to have a little bigger ones, but I couldn't find any, and I didn't want him to make any. He didn't have any scrap, so I bought these. He welded them on. You can always just cut them off, put bigger ones on if you don't like it, but with this thickness of cord, it actually works really well. So I can lift this thing up by myself. Let's see, on this side there's a hanger for the outboard and a hanger for a stern anchor. I like to have an anchor set up with like 300 feet of line in a bucket, and that way, that's like your e-brake. If something happens, if you're on a lee shore, if your anchor starts dragging, you have one set up. Yes, it's on the rear of your boat, but you don't always have to anchor from the front. As long as you can stop the boat, that's the emergency, like, oh shit, anchor, and that's why that's there. And it's the secondary, so if you wanted to put out 2, it's already rigged and ready to go. I had that on my last boat. It saved me multiple times. Unfortunately, I don't have a locker to put it in, so it's just gonna have to hang on the outside. Not a big deal, but you'll just have to be aware that it's there. Okay, what else? Let's talk about the wiring, because the wiring job is pretty cool. There's 3 panels, 1, 2, 3 panels, and this is the wires for 2 of the panels. I have them all wired individually with 10 gauge wire, 10 gauge 2 conductor wire. It's marine wire. I still haven't filled this yet. This needs to be filled with silicone or 5200. So that's for this one and this one. And then I have 2 more coming out for this one, and the other one is just capped off. This is a piece of shrink tubing that I put on here just to protect from the wires from corrosion. That's for if we wanted to put another panel back here eventually. I don't know. I didn't want to put it on just because it's too much windage for the Southern Ocean, but maybe when we get around the Horn, we'll want some more solar back there. Whatever. I just have it wired because it's easier to do it when it's happening. I also wired it here. This is for lighting. So this is 24 volts, also capped off because we haven't received the lights yet. They're on a pallet. They should be here in about 2 weeks. Everything comes by boat here. And then if you can see all the way in the back, right there, there's another wire. That is for a stern light. Then I had them weld on a little placard so we can put a stern light there. So that takes the stern light and it puts it out away from the boat, gets it away from your night vision, and makes it very, very visible. So the boat's very visible at night. Because if it was here like it was originally intended and the dinghy was hanging here, nobody would see it. Yeah? So that, I'm thinking here, people, I'm thinking. The other thing, the one thing I didn't do is put a flag hanger in. So right now the flagpole's just kind of, you know, zip tied to the thing. But eventually I'd like to put like a holder for a flagpole that kind of comes off on the side a little bit. And then this thing is super duper strong. It's super strong. It's reinforced around here and reinforced here. So, I mean, and it's got these big radiuses, and it's got 2-inch stainless steel instead of 1.5 inches. It's just all around better arch. And then you can't forget the seating. That's the rear seating for the arch. And then we have access, because the dinghy's up here and we have this little transom, we can actually get in between the dinghy and the transom and go swimming while the dinghy is up, which is cool. So if we come in, we really want to get in the water, but we don't want to take the dinghy down, that's an option. One last thing about this arch, I set it up so I can do this solo. So if it's me and Anna can't do it for some reason, or it's too heavy for her, I can do it in stages where I just kind of lift one, lift the other, lift the one, lift the other, and I can do it all myself. The dinghy weighs 42 kilos. This is an OC Tender 330. It's the best dinghy in the world. If anybody's thinking about buying one, write me and I'll tell you the real skinny on it. Best dinghy ever. And I can handle that entire dinghy by myself. Plus it's easy to put on the front of the boat, but that's for a later episode. Okay, so that's the arch. Oh, and the entire thing is all bedded down with life caulk. Bedded here, there, 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 and there, and there, and there. So this whole structure is all one piece, and it's all bedded into the boat with big backing plates. I mean, I can show you that real quick just to let you guys know what goes into the backing plate thing, because that's super important with boats. They have to have good backing plates. So that's a clove knot, clove hitch. Let me just show you real quick because this is interesting. All right, so you see the backing plate there? It's a real plate. Well, I had to actually cut away the boat. I had to cut away a bunch of the boat because this was all fiberglass. So I cut it away so it was flat, and then added some fiber in there. You can see where it's all repaired, and I made it flat so we could put the backing plate on. Super, super important. The guys didn't want to do that, the welders, just because, you know, that's not their job. And I had to go in there and do that. It's important that you put good backing plates, especially on an arch that's going to hold a dinghy in the back. You know how much pressure is on this? It'll rip right out of your boat. And this boat has a real thick deck. If you had anything thin, like a Beneteau or a you know, like a regular production boat, it will just rip the deck right off. So make sure your backing plates for everything are good. Okay, that's it. That's the tour, that's the arch. Next episode will be more refit items, everything else that we've done with the boat up until now. I just wanted to make a different one just for the arch to explain why I had to do it twice, and hopefully why you won't have to do it twice. All right, peace, love.